All right, CW Flash fans. Now, this is going to be like spoiler territory for the upcoming episodes of CW's The Flash returning on January 16th. So if you don't want to listen, feel free to click off the video now. But thanks for supporting the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the next video. But this is pretty interesting because in some of the, well, actually the preview for the upcoming episode on the 16th shows that Joe West, of all people, is going to cross the line to try to help Barry to get off the murder charges of Clifford DeVoe by planting evidence, and Ralph Dibny is at the scene as well. And we don't really get much interaction except for Ralph's kind of shocked expression, because remember, planting evidence is how he got kicked off the police force when Barry busted him for it back when he was like a rookie at the time. So I wanted to do this video to ask the question to you all out there. Do you think Ralph is going to step up as a hero in the second half of the season? I mean, with Barry in jail, going through the trial of the murder of Clifford DeVoe, what do you think Ralph is going to do? Will he comply with Joe? Because obviously he wants to get Barry out just like everybody else, but I think this would be a great test of his character to see if he would do the same thing that got him kicked off the police force in order to get Barry out of jail. And I feel like Ralph is going to go through his own trial as a character as Barry's going through his own legal trial for the murder of Clifford DeVoe, which he's not guilty for. And if anything, this is kind of a throwback to season 1 towards the end, where I believe the Team Flash had found out that Harrison Wells was actually not who he said he was. He was basically Eobard Thawne. And the Chameleon was, no, that was a Spider-Man villain. It was basically the metahuman that could actually, transform into any human that he touches. Basically, if he touched you, he could transform to look exactly like you, basically like a chameleon. And it was at a time where Eddie Thawne got arrested because it looked like he shot a couple of cops, and Barry, pretty much as the Flash, got him out of jail. But Eddie was like, no, put me back in. I trust you and Joe can get me out the right way. And then that was one of my favorite Eddie Thawne moments, where Barry went back and put him back in his jail cell, and then they got him out the right way. I love that. So I feel like the same thing was going to happen with Barry, because let's say hypothetically, if Joe plants the evidence and whatnot, and they went ahead and got him out of jail and Barry found out, he would probably botch the entire thing. Hey, put me back in jail and get me out the right way. Or if he's out, he'll probably work as the Flash to prove his innocence. So that's all I'm saying. I feel like Ralph is going to be the one that's going to go through the most challenging hoops to go through this upcoming part of the season, where he's going to be faced with decisions. It's kind of weird that the crooked detective is going to be the one who's going to be playing with a straight face, where like Joe, these characters who are pretty much righteous and about justice and doing things the proper way, are going to go through all these different cycles of, we're going to break the law in order to get Barry out because we know he didn't do it. He's the Flash. He saves the city 100 times over. He saved the world. He doesn't deserve to be in this situation, so we're going to bend the rules just this once. And it's almost like, Batman killing is like, hey, if I do it one time, there's no end to it. I'll just keep on doing it. So what I'm saying is, when it comes down to Ralph Dibny, it'll be cool not just to see him with an official superhero name and a new costume, but just to see growth in his character. So what do you think about Ralph? Do you think he will step up during the second half of the season? Will he be the voice of reason of all people? That'll be interesting to see. I mean, can you imagine like if Iris and Caitlin and Cisco are like, no, let Joe go ahead and do what he does best, well, in terms of being the detective, not saying he's a crooked cop, but let's let him plant the evidence and get Barry out of jail because we know he's innocent. Will Ralph be the one? Will Ralph be the one to kind of just say no? So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Ralph will step up in the second half of season 4? And also, what are you looking most forward to in the upcoming portion of The Flash?